Hey, 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 you beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I'm so delighted you could join me today. And if you haven't got a copy yet, we're going to pause the video. Ready? Did you get one? You got coffee. Some of you got coffee. Some of you didn't get one. One day we're all going to get one at exactly the same time. We're going to pause the video and we'll all have a beautiful, nice, warm cuppa all at exactly the same time. Wow, it's too good. It's too good. Alrighty, so the first thing I want to say today is that's what I want to do. I want to go, some divine feminines are feeling melancholy, and melancholy is one of those annoying words because you kind of don't know how you feel. You don't know whether you're feeling loving or angry or pissed off or I don't know. You know, it's just like you just want to kind of get I don't know. I mean, that's not my best face that I've ever pulled, let's be clear. But that's kind of how you're feeling, right? You know, you can kind of resonate with that face, can't you? Let's bring Donkey in. We need to say hi to Donkey today. He has been helping me out with Charlotte and Harry. They've been arguing, and Donkey seems to have all the answers. So he's also been telling me to repaint my nails. Look what happened. I did housework and they chipped. You know what I mean? And I kind of just went, You know what I mean? It's that kind of weird feeling where, you know, sometimes you go to do something in the kitchen or I don't know, you've got a plan for the day and then it kind of gets changed, or I don't know, you're trying to put the duvet cover on and it just won't go in or something like that. It's just this kind of, I don't know, kind of feeling. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about what we think. I'm going to use the tarot cards. I don't know how it's going to work yet. I kind of haven't really planned, but that's okay. I want to talk today about some of the things you dislike about a third dimensional consciousness relationship. If you've been in relationships before, you know, romantically speaking, what didn't you like about it and why? So for some of you, you might kind of go straight for the emotions. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of writing today because I want you to kind of remember these concepts that we're talking about. But some of you might be annoyed by some of the emotions that, you know, a relationship in the third dimension, before you were awake, before you knew you were a twin flame, before you started ascending, and how they annoyed you. All right, so some of the emotions that came up for you. Okay, and let's just talk about some of these. So, you know, your partner or person that you were dating might have made you feel sad. They might have made you feel lonely in some kind of way. They might have made you feel guilty in some kind of way. They may have made you feel either way with your self-esteem. So you could have had low self-esteem, you could have had high self-esteem. They may have made you feel loved or unloved, okay? And this is some of the things that can happen in a 3D relationship. I'm going to say 3D, and of course when I say 3D, I'm talking about that we live in the 3D. There's two aspects of this. We actually do live in a physical 3D, third dimensional world, but there's also third dimensional consciousness where someone who is unawakened, usually the past relationships we've had before we awakened, awakened, before we woke up, right, were kind of on the surface level, I would say. So I'm going to do a little drawing. I know you love my drawings. Okay. So a third dimensional relationship will deal with all of the normal stuff. You know, there'll be work. Perhaps there'll be kids if you were, if you got married and did that whole kid thing. 9 months later, what happened? How did that happen? Oh my God. I've got to do what? How do I give birth? Really? Is that for real? If you've got kids, you know what I'm saying. Alrighty, so a 3D relationship will generally look like, the house, the car, the clothes, the shoes, the schedules or schedules. I don't know. How do we say that? Depends where you're from, I suppose. Alrighty, so this is your 3D relationship. And it may have been good or bad or annoying or, let's get the swearing bell, fuck up in some kind of way, right? And you would have had emotions attached to that person. That person makes me feel loved or unloved. That person makes me feel like I've got self-esteem or not. That person made me feel guilty or never made me feel guilty. That person made me feel lonely or never made me feel lonely, or sad or didn't make me feel sad. You know what I mean? Or all of the above, right? And so we've got this is my tree. It's an orange tree, as you can see quite clearly in the picture. It's denoted here, right? This is all the surface kind of stuff. Okay, so in our third dimensional physical reality, we have to, because there's money in the world, a really silly idea. But I needed money to get this jacket or to buy these earrings or to, pay for the home I live in, etc., And so usually third dimensional relationships kind of worry about all of this stuff. And it's all surface stuff. It's all, as you awaken, you realize that, yes, having shelter is important. Yes, having clothes is important. Yes, having some of the little luxuries, of course, are important. But your spirituality usually, or love, probably, or if you're religious, your religion becomes very important to you as you awaken and realize that, we've kind of been living in this matrix society where, we're just, slaving away to buy the shoes, the cars, the clothes, the house, the white picket fence, the old kind of paradigm. Alrighty. And it's all surface kind of stuff. And many of the relationships that we've experienced in our lives, depending on how old you are, you may not have had a lot of relationships, but a lot of these relationships can be kind of superficial. I don't know, someone might want to date Henry because he's got a lot of money and he looks cute when he wears his, boxer shorts, you know what I mean? So it kind of becomes a little bit superficial. Some of the reality shows that you can watch, regarding dating, or even the dating websites, can be quite superficial. You've literally got people taking selfies, with their boobs out and with their, you know what I mean? And it's not, I'm not body shaming anyone at all, but I'm just saying, as you awaken more and more, as you ascend more and more, you realize that it's not about how someone looks. It's not about the surface stuff. Okay, so, you know, as an example, if I did this on my video here and you could only hear my voice, you know, there would be no judgment of what I'm wearing or what color my hair is or what color my eyes are or whether my boobs are out or not. You know what I mean? You would just be hearing my voice. And so this is kinda, and I'm going to get one of my tarot cards to help this. To help with this, ooh, maybe 2 tarot cards. Let's be devilish today. Find 2 tarot cards. Hang on. I've got one of them. Bear with me. I do actually have a point to my video today. It's quite important. Oh, come on. There we go. Alrighty. So we have, first of all, this idea of the third dimensional reality where most people reside in third dimensional consciousness. They are busy making money to get the cars, the clothes, the shoes, the white picket fence house, or I don't know, holidays and all of that stuff, and there's nothing at all wrong with that. So don't for 1 minute say that I'm saying if someone has money or not that they're different than someone else. But as you spiritually awaken, and if you're on the twin flame journey, it becomes more about self healing, self love, and unconditional love, and perhaps not so much of what you can get and gain for yourself, but what you can perhaps give back to the world or your community. And that's important. So the third dimensional consciousness, reality, relationships, you would be focused upon, you know, oh, Daryl's sexy. Isn't he sexy in his cute little polka dot shorts? Right? And wow, he's got a Rolex watch. And ooh, if I married him, we could have pretty little babies and live here. And because he works in the music industry, you know, we could, I don't know, talk with all the hot people or whatever, right? So that's kind of third dimensional consciousness stuff. As you awaken and as you close your eyes a little bit more, let me do this again. As you close your eyes and come into yourself, into learning about who you are, nothing to do with what's outside of you, going within, taking that journey within, you start realizing, and I'm going to use this girl. Is this, I forget what we called her. Pissed Off Petunia, I think. Is that right? Pissed Off Petunia. I hope no one's called Petunia. But she's literally got her eyes closed as to what's going around her. And if we could uncross her arms and put love hearts in her arms, then she could become, loving Lucy, right? And that's kind of how the twin flame journey is. All right, so if you close your eyes just for a moment and enjoy that silence, apart from me talking, but enjoy the silence around you. You know, there's no TV going. Hopefully there's no kids screaming or anything going on too much in your area there, but you can just feel the bliss of being in the present moment. Okay. Now the twin flame journey is supposed to be felt like this. So that time you went out into the garden and saw that beautiful flower, or that time you visited the ocean and had the breeze on your face, or that time you picked a flower and realized its beauty, and that time you closed your eyes and meditated and felt amazing after you did that. All of those joyful, blissful times is how the fifth dimensional consciousness relationship with your twin flame can happen. And so I'm writing 5D down here by the roots of the tree, because as we know, these third dimensional consciousness relationships are very surface level here. This is what you see on the surface. You know, the masks people wear, the makeup people wear, the clothes, the shoes, that kind of stuff. I mean, you can have a lovely soulmate relationship, but usually soulmates are in third dimensional consciousness. And if you're in fifth dimensional consciousness and above, if you've awakened, it's very difficult to maintain a relationship with someone else when there's that disconnect. And so we still have to deal with all this surface level stuff as a twin flame, but then we come down into the fifth dimensional consciousness where we actually can feel the connection. And many of you say, you know, am I going crazy? I feel like I can feel my divine masculine around me. Am I going crazy? I feel like, you know, he's trying to contact me in a telepathic sort of way, right? And here's your divine masculine. As he awakens, this is emotional Eric, he can feel it too. And in fact, when you met one another, whether that was online, you know, even if you were just texting one another and you never even saw each other, you would have felt the energy. And that energy is your soul essence, you know, kind of wanting to come back together with your counterpart. All right. So some of you who are in third party relationships, either your divine masculine's in a connection or you're in a connection, this can be very difficult because you've kind of maybe met one another and you've experienced the bliss of knowing just how well you connect. And then that guilt can come up because you think, well, hang on a minute, I'm in a relationship with someone else, or he's in a relationship with someone else. Take gender how it resonates. And so you don't know what to do. Okay. So this is where, if you need my guidance, you know, obviously I'll never tell you exactly to go and leave someone or not or whatever. I mean, obviously you have to go from that place of knowing yourself. But this is kind of what happens on the twin flame journey, is that you begin to awaken of your own accord in some way, shape or form, and you realize that you've kind of been living in this matrix, right? You know, not all of you have been married, but you might have been in third dimensional relationships where you know, you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend that was all about the, I don't know, looking hot on Instagram and, I don't know, taking photos, taking, you know, selfies are the most important thing in the world, and just kind of shallow stuff compared to going within and being more in depth. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with selfies, there's nothing wrong with any of that, but just as you ascend and awaken, you just won't be resonating to that as much as maybe helping people on the planet. You know, maybe you want to help, you know, orphans. Maybe you want to start a course of some kind where you can help people to learn how to read and write or something, you know. There's this feeling inside of you, like a mission that you want to do. Okay, so today I'm not really going to talk about mission, because many of you have already an idea of what perhaps your mission is. And if you don't, maybe this is an opportunity for you to think about that. Because many times as you come into your mission, you also attract in your twin flame. Okay, because they're attracted to the highest vibration of you. So let's say you haven't heard from your twin since, I don't know, August last year or something like that. And you've kind of gone, well, I don't know what to do anymore. I've kind of forgotten about them. Well, not forgotten about them, but what can I do? You know, I haven't heard from them. And as you've been focusing on yourself, you may say, well, you know, I've got a few weekends spare now, so I'm going to, I don't know, create that course for those kids in my area who want to, I don't know, learn how to play basketball, or learn how to, I don't know, maybe there's a scout group in your area and you want to volunteer for that, or something like that with kids, or with the elderly. You might want to do Meals on Wheels, or I don't know, something like that. Okay, now as you come into your mission, which is kind of, you know, what twin flames can love to do. Not all twin flames will do a mission, but many of them will, because they're guided to use their energy in some, you know, creative form to help the planet in some way. As you come into your mission, you'll probably notice that your twin flame will come in a lot quicker. But this has to be an organic coming into mission. This is not, you know, I'm just coming into mission so I can attract my twin flame. It'll be a pull that you feel inside of yourself, like, you know what? I already earn enough money. I've already got enough stuff. Maybe I could go through my belongings and give, you know, to the thrift shop or the op shop or whatever it's called in your area. You know what I mean? You start thinking a bit more about the planet and a bit more about your impact in the world. You know, most of you would probably be recycling. Most of you would probably be already taking care of your bodies. I would hope so. If you're a twin flame, you need to do that. All right. So I want you to understand that the twin flame journey is not just this surface kind of relationship. It's not about all the 3D stuff. And in fact, I recently asked a twin flame, a very, very wise twin flame, what they thought about an everyday, you know, kind of relationship. And it was highly interesting, because they said, you know, in the love of that relationship, in the love and the bliss that you experience with that person, sort of like a best friend, all of that 3D stuff would become a lot easier. You know, being in union with someone and being unconditionally loving to that person, because you would be unconditionally loving to them and they would be to you. Any problems that arise in the third dimensional reality, physical reality, would then become both people's problems. So it's not going to be this, you know, perhaps 1950s style relationship where the man goes out to work and the woman does the washing, unless they choose to do that, you know. But maybe they help one another. Maybe their love for one another is, you know, he loves her that much that he wants to help her in some way. There's no rules anymore. There becomes this less, you know, what am I trying to say? This way of being that comes from love. And if you've been around your twin flame and experienced the bliss of even just typing to them, or even, you know, if you Skype with them, or however you communicate, or even in person, you know, it's like your whole body kind of vibrates. It's something different than you've ever experienced before. And knowing that they love every single part of you, you know, they may want to brush your hair. They may want to, I don't know, shower with you. They may want to cook with you. They may want to do your laundry for you. They may want to rub your feet. They may want to read a book to you. You know, it's a love like no other. And the experience of the bliss of a 5D consciousness relationship in the third dimensional reality is something completely different than a third dimensional consciousness relationship in the third dimensional reality. I hope that makes sense, because it does sound confusing, but it's, like I said, pissed off Petunia here. if she could just put those swords down and put love hearts in her hands and feel the connection. Notice the water there, the ocean there. If you feel the connection, then that's how it's going to be when you come into union with your twin flame, because you already love each other so much that you want to help one another. You're already awakened together, and you've already probably been in relationships that have hurt other people, and you kind of know now what you don't want. You might even be able to say to your twin flame something like, I'm really bad at whatever it is. Would you be able to help me with that? And they'll probably be like, oh my God, I love doing that. Sure, I'll do it. Whatever it is, So there's this kind of opposites that can happen, this duality that can happen between twin flames, where one twin flame sucks at something and the other twin flame's really good at it. And then there's also this collaboration where both twins are kind of on the same page. If you've ever had a conversation with your twin, you'll kind of know that everything's kind of flowing all the time. And usually in the communication, you don't even know what's going to happen next, because the communication just seems to flow naturally. There's no stop start. I mean, maybe you go into separation for a time because of, there's factors involved, but when you come back together, it just seems effortless and flowing, and, wow, how did they know that about me? And, they may say something like, oh, I know you're tired right now, maybe you should go to bed. And you'll be like, wow, how did you know that? You know what I mean? They just know you. And how do they know you? Because they are you. They're just in a different body, So I hope this sort of concept video helped. I'm going to answer your questions on Friday, which is tomorrow for me here in Australia. So if you've got any twin flame questions that are bothering you about your journey, I've already got a few. I've got a list already now, that I'm going to be answering. I'm going to answer those tomorrow. Okay, sometime tomorrow I'm going to upload a video and answer some of your questions. So if you've got any more questions about the twin flame journey that you really want answered, even if you've already asked a question, you can ask as many as you like. Okay, and I'll get into those tomorrow in the video. Okay, have a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are. And if you haven't got a cuppa yet, why not go and get one? I love you all so much, and if you need me, my details are in the description box below. I'm sending you love, light, and blessings from Australia. I don't really want to send you light though, because I think you've got enough there where you are. All right, and I hope you find this really helpful, and I want you to try and remember to stay in your joy today, no matter whatever that means for you. Okay. And I think that's all I want to say. Yeah, it is. All right. Bye. Bye.